Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Kyle Hunter, and I am currently serving as an assistant athletic director and safety coordinator with the TWA Academy Charter Schools in Houston. I also have experience as a middle school and high school cross country coach, an aquatics and wellness program director with the YMCA, and a longtime operations manager. I am interested in the regional director position because it brings together the areas where I believe I am strongest: athletics, organization, safety, communication, scheduling, and relationship building. Through my current work at a public charter school, I have seen firsthand how valuable an organization like the Texas Charter School Academic and Athletic League is. Charter schools need a league that understands their unique circumstances while still maintaining consistent expectations, fair competition, strong communication, and a positive experience for the students. I also had the opportunity to meet Jordan Hatch at the THSCA conference. Our conversation increased my interest in the organization because I could see how seriously TCSAAL takes its responsibility to schools and student athletes. What especially attracts me to this position is that the regional director is not simply working behind the scenes. The regional director is building divisions, creating schedules, communicating with schools, coordinating officials, solving problems during competitions, and being physically present in the region. The combination of planning and hands-on leadership fits my experience and personality very well. So some of my professional background and accomplishments. My background includes athletic administration, coaching, aquatics management, staff development, safety compliance, customer service, and operation leadership. In my current assistant athletic director role, I help support athletic operations across our charter school campuses. My responsibilities include helping organize athletic opportunities, communicating with coaches and administrators, supporting athlete recruitment and tryouts, tracking required paperwork, coordinating safety training, and helping ensure that coaches and athletes understand expectations. I also help address questions involving schedules, staffing, eligibility, athletic policies, and competition preparation. Because I work inside a charter school environment, I understand that athletic decisions often involve several stakeholders, including athletic directors, principals, human resources, teachers, coaches, families, and league administrators. Before this role, I served as the head cross-country coach for the middle and high school programs at Yes Prep Braes Oaks. That experience strengthened my ability to communicate with student athletes and families, organize practices and competitions, develop a positive team culture, and enforce expectations consistently. I've also served several leadership roles with the YMCA, including program director in aquatics for aquatics and wellness, head lifeguard, lifeguard instructor, deck manager, and the college-driven leader on duty. In those positions, I was responsible for staffing, employee scheduling, payroll, program registration, safety audits, purchasing, staff training, incident response, and daily problem solving. One accomplishment I am particularly proud of is the leadership role I played in maintaining safe and effective aquatics operations while managing my responsibilities at once. Aquatics is an environment where small details matter. Staffing coverage, certifications, equipment, water conditions, emergency procedures, customer communication, and employee performance all have to be monitored consistently. I train staff in CPR, first aid, AED, and oxygen administration, and lifeguarding procedures. I also conducted safety audits and helped maintain compliance documentation. That work required me to be organized, calm under pressure, and willing to make difficult decisions when safety was involved. I am proud that I was able to create environments where staff members understood expectations, felt supported, and knew that safety and service could never be treated as optional. I stay organized by creating clear systems rather than relying on memory. At the beginning of a project or season, I identify every major deadline, including scheduling deadlines, roster submissions, eligibility documents, facility needs, official assignments, training requirements, and communication dates. I then break those responsibilities into smaller tasks and assign target completion dates before the actual deadline. I have used calendars, spreadsheets, checklists, email folders, Google Workspace to maintain accurate records. When multiple people are involved, I document responsibilities and follow up in writing so everyone understands what has been decided and what needs to be completed. I also prioritize according to urgency and impact. An immediate competition or safety issue must be addressed first. After that, I focus on responsibilities that could create larger problems if they are delayed, such as securing facilities, confirming officials, completing schedules, or reminding schools about roster deadlines. Communication is another important part of my organization system. I believe schools and coaches should receive information early enough to act on it. When expectations are communicated clearly and consistency, many last-minute problems can be prevented. At the same time, I understand that athletics is unpredictable. Games change, facilities become unavailable, officials cancel, weather, administrators sometimes need quick answers. My management and aquatics experience taught me how to adjust without losing control of the larger operation. I remain calm, gather the necessary facts, communicate the revised plan, document the change, and then continue moving forward. If a school administrator contacted me because they believe the scheduling decision was unfair, my first step would be to listen carefully and allow them to explain their concern. I would not become defensive or immediately assume they were wrong. I would ask specific questions so I could understand whether the concern involved travel distance, competition level, facility availability, game time, school calendars, or maybe another issue. After gathering the facts, I would review the schedule, the division structure, the applicable policies, and the information used when the decisions were made. I would then explain the reasoning clearly and respectfully. If the schedule was created based on established criteria and could not reasonably be changed, I would be honest about that. I would explain the factors involved and make sure the administrator understood that the decision was not personal or intended to disadvantage their school. However, if the administrator identified an actual error, overlooked conflict, or reasonable solution that would not negatively affect other schools, I'd be willing to correct the issue. Fairness does not always mean that every school receives its preferred schedule. It means that decisions are made consistently, transparently, and with a consideration for all participating schools. My goal would be to resolve the immediate concern while preserving the relationship. Even when someone does not receive the answer they hope for, they should leave the conversation feeling heard, respected, and confident that the matter was reviewed seriously. Throughout my leadership experience, I've had to enforce policies that people did not always agree with, particularly policies involving safety, staffing, and athletic participation. One example comes from my aquatics leadership experience. Employees could not work in certain positions unless they had their required certificates and trainings were current. At times, this created staffing difficulties, and an employee might have believed they were capable of working even though their documentation had expired or a requirement had not been completed. In those situations, I explained that the decision was not a judgment about the employee personally. It was a safety and compliance requirement that had to be applied consistently. I reviewed what was missing, explained the steps required to become eligible again, and helped identify the next available training opportunity. Although the employee might initially be frustrated, maintaining the standard protected the participants, the employee, and the organization. My approach is to communicate expectations clearly, provide reminders when appropriate, listen to concerns, and offer a reasonable path forward to compliance. I believe a strong leader requires both empathy and accountability. You can treat people respectfully while still maintaining a standard. I believe I'd be a strong candidate because I bring experience from several areas that directly connect to this position. I understand the unique charter school athletics from a school's perspective. I understand it from a coaching's perspective. I understand operations, staffing, scheduling, and customer service from my management background. I also understand safety, documentation, and emergency response from my aquatics leadership and instructor experience. In addition, I spent many years managing a high volume restaurant. That experience taught me how to lead diverse teams, manage changing schedules, respond to customer concerns, control multiple priorities, and remain composed when several problems happened all at once. I am comfortably working independently, but I also value being part of a team. I understand that a regional director must sometimes help outside the inside region, and I want to contribute wherever the organization needs me. I also understand the demands of the position. Competition issues may happen at any time, and you got to be able to be accessible, responsive, and reliable. Most importantly, I care about providing students with a safe and organized competition and having a positive experience. Students may not see all the scheduling, communication, staffing, all the background stuff, but they see the final product, and I want them to have a good experience. I'd be excited to bring my leadership, organization, safety knowledge, charter school experience, and commitment to student athletes to the Texas Charter School Academic and Athletic League. Thank you again for considering my application. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself, and I look forward to speaking with you all again. Thank you.